Hello and welcome to All Things Quiz for this first preview of the OQL Low Brow MIMIR Tier 1 final. I'm delighted to have had the opportunity to chat to Lewis Jones about his journey to the final, his highs, his lows, and his expectations of the final match itself. Join me as I chat to Lewis. I'm delighted to welcome Lewis Jones, one of our finalists. Lewis, welcome to All Things Quiz.
Thank you very much, Gareth. Lovely to be here.
So, you made it to the final, and a lot of people won't know who you were.
Good.
Could you tell us, well, that might play to your advantage, could you tell us what your quizzing experience has been, which might help people to understand how you've been so darn good at the Low Brow MIMIR?
Well, at first, I wish I could understand. I've done well. I thought I'd do all right, but how well I've done has massively blown away my expectations. In terms of quiz background, so I've been on a few shows. I was on The Chase ages ago. I was too young when I went on it, and I look back and I go, "Oh God, I could probably have taken them if I went on now." But hey, that's how it goes. I was on a few. I think I was on 15 to 1 the yeyear that you won it.
Oh, that was a fine year.
So I remember. It was a fine year, of course. For you, it definitely was. I didn't make it to the grand final. I did win my episode, and I've been I've been on Eggheads, but nothing too serious. I spent a few years in my mid-20s quiz mastering at a pub. Which is always something that I thought would be fun to do, and I mostly just used it as an excuse to make jokes on microphone. The questions were very much incidental to that. Gave me an excuse to be up there. It wasn't until end of summer last year, 2020, that being part of QuizSoc Sheffield, I'm a student at the university. I'm a mature student. I'm not mature, and I don't feel old enough to be a mature student. But I'm in the second year of an undergrad studying journalism. And being here, I've been involved with the Quiz Society. I'm currently secretary for Quiz Society. So we've been trying to, particularly during the pandemic, do other stuff, because normally, last year I was here, it was just going to the pub, but we've been trying to do other stuff. One of those things was we got a message from OQL saying, "Do you want to be involved in this?" We leapt at it. We thought it was a great idea. And I had a really good first season in season 4. I ended up top scorer for the division, played in the All-Star match versus the US League at the start of this year, which was great. But as soon as the Low Brow was announced, I thought, that sounds like my sort of stuff.
Did it take you by surprise quite how well it went?
Yeah. Massively. As I say, I thought I'd be good. I thought I'd enjoy it. But with the field, there's some of the names in there.
Yeah.
Incredible. I never thought I'd be near this level. But as the weeks went on, I just kept doing well. I kept scoring well. I didn't always win. And certainly there's other players that in terms of the leaderboard of wins finished higher than me. But my own answered was strong every week. I think, I know enough about everything that I can always make guesses. And there was always something that if it was a hard area, sometimes there'd be a hard area that I could own. And that really helped me in a group with other people that maybe didn't know that area. But otherwise, if it was a hard one there, my strengths would balance, So I think I've managed to get it like 10, 11 every time at least, and a couple more than that a few times. But, consistency has been the thing that I've impressed myself the most with. I've just been really happy every time that I've been able to get my own questions, and the winning and the results has that's been an absolute bonus for sure.
Were there any matches en route to the final? We'll talk about the semi-final in a moment, but any of the other matches that really stand out to you as being kind of critical or landmark moments for you?
I would say the third match. I think it was the third match. Yeah, in particularly. So it was first one after we'd all been sorted out a little bit. It was nice that I was seeded. I didn't expect that, but I after my strong first season in OQL, I was seeded, so that was nice. And the first 2 games sort of were good. But I managed to have a few subjects in each. I think the first week we had Street Fighter characters and a Song of Ice and Fire characters, which couldn't have gone better for me, really. So I picked all of those up. But the first 2 weeks were good, but not. I didn't feel the pressure too much. It was sort of fun. But week 3, I was put in with Ian Toms, who I didn't know about before I got into quizzing the last 6 months or so, but incredible. Just to watch him quiz it's insane. The things he knows, the surprises that he comes out with, amazing. Emma Laslett, who I was very familiar with various TV appearances she's made, and again, someone I was have incredible respect for, and she's so good. She's got so many different subject areas she's good at. And then Dara, the Ennis Menace, the Menace Ennis, who's been fantastic, I think, since he joined the chase. And he was the telling friends about it who aren't involved in quiz. He was the glamour opponent, but he was certainly the one I feared the least. No offense, Dara. Absolutely wonderful guy, very good quizzer. But I think he's third in that game, behind Emma, who came first in the tiebreak, and Ian. And nothing really came off for me. It was one of those ones where none of the subjects fell in my wheelhouse. I think I still did all right. I think I still got 11 or so of my own. But it made me think, there's levels to this. But also there's a large amount of luck in it. Every time I do the quiz afterwards, I get the packet and I go through and I see what seat I've done best in. And I think I was in my least good seat. And I think that's really helped me think, sure, I know stuff and that helps, but there's a lot of luck in this. And if the questions come my way in terms of subjects and in terms of my seat, then I'll do all right. I think one of the first questions was a Harry Potter question, surnames of Defence Against Dark Arts teachers or whatever, which is, it's your bread and butter. You've got to know those. Of course I knew that, but I could feel my heart. I was sat right here, my heart was in my chest. I was going, oh, Dolores, what's her surname? And then eventually it came to me, I think I got it, or maybe someone picked up before me, Umbridge, whatever. But I mean, oh God, I've got to calm down. I've got to settle myself. And yeah, that really made me think, oh no, this can be, there's tactics to this. There's more than just knowing stuff. There's another level of mentality that I need, which I think, since then has been something I thought about. I've tried to calm myself before every game, and I've just enjoyed it though, Gareth. That's been the thing. It's just been a great fun people, getting to know people, getting to meet people, and being quite good has just been an extra that I've enjoyed.
Were there any inspired guesses or answers that, in hindsight, were kind of really critical or crucial for you during the course of your run?
I think not in terms of like just getting an answer here or there, but I think that really made me think, oh no, actually I know stuff. I do know stuff. Was week 2, where there was the quad on NBA players, and the first one. I mean, it came to me and I sort of took a punt on it. I thought, I've definitely at some point in my life, just because I was interested, read the Wikipedia page for highest scorers in the NBA. And even though I didn't have a fully formed word, it was sort of there, and I guessed Chamberlain, and it was Wilt Chamberlain. And I went, oh yeah, no, I know stuff. I can recall this stuff. And that was a big moment for me, just thinking, no, it's okay to make these guesses. It's okay to, again, that tactical level of it. And I ended up getting quad that week on all 4 of those. Again, a couple, they were instinctive guesses going off a little bit of the information rather than everything. And that was big that week. I was like, there's more depth to what I know than I sometimes think I know.
And moving then to your semi-final, you qualified with Dave Gregson. There was nothing to separate the two of you. You went through on the same score, and it was a very tight match between 4 of the players. What was it for you in that game that kind of made the difference, that just got you over the line?
For me, the thing that I managed to pick up on was the husbands of Gail in Coronation Street. I've never been a big soap watcher overall, but definitely not Coronation Street. We're an EastEnders household. When the last time I watched soaps, which is nearly 20 years ago, I guess. And managed to pick up a few there. I think one person got their own, and I picked up the other 3. Well, I got my own and then picked up 2. That was big. But it all really came down to the second to last question. I think it was Will Swigert's question, and it was the cocktail quad, which is a good subject for me. I like a drink. And it probably was the hardest of the 4, but Will said he doesn't drink, so obviously that's always a disadvantage. And I'd luckily throughout, because I knew it was going to be a tense one, and I knew those last questions were going to be where it matters. I tried to keep my powder dry. There was a few earlier ones where I was maybe 50-50, could have gone for it, but I knew that it was going to be those last questions that I really need to pick up an answer here and there. I waited, and he said mojito, and it came straight to me, and I got margarita. And that was it. That took us to even, I think. And then I think he got the last question. So that was the big moment. But yeah, sort of keeping my powder dry, waiting for the end. But yeah, there was no room, and it was scary. I think certainly the first round, maybe the first couple of rounds, everyone got all their questions right, and that's always terrifying. Yeah, but it keeps rolling in. I think I was third, and just oh god, I've got to match this. Was scary. I thought I'd thrown it away in the middle of it. I got my question on jackets, and I sort of had Harrington in my head, but I swerved and went for Letterman, and it was Harrington. And I was like, oh God, I've completely thrown it. But I allowed myself to regain some composure, and it all worked out in the end. But yeah, I mean, it was an amazing game. Just the tension there. You just couldn't let anything slip. And also, I was massively proud that I got my Kardashian question right, which is not my area, but I managed to get it. So Black China, thank you.
So what would you say if you were asked your strengths are in terms of the low brow mimir?
Well, I think in terms of a personal strength, but also a strength that's really seeming, and looking at the stats at least, is really helping me, is those video game quads. When they come, I'm doing well in them, which is great. You would certainly feel
you were top in video games across the whole tournament.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Which is nice. It's very nice. I'm only annoyed that I wasn't paying attention or misheard something that Dave Bill said a couple of weeks ago when he was reading to stop me getting CJ. I would have got the quad there. But it was the second question. I was a little bit, I knew it, but I talked myself out of it. Luckily, I picked up the other ones. I got 3 of those. But yeah, that's been a real boon for me throughout. Again, that Street Fighter 1, week 1. I did all right on the Sonic one. I think that was week 2. The Valve one, the Steam Valve ones, I did well on. So yeah, I've every time there's been a harder video game quad, I thought, yeah, this is good for me. It's something I know that I can get. And yeah, we've all seen the Facebook groups, Gareth. We know that people don't. There's a certain sort of person who doesn't like video game questions, and I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm a massive gamer myself. I like a video game. I played a lot. I've had a lot of consoles through my life, but it's not massive. It's not my main hobby. Certainly, it's an interest, but it's it's not my favorite thing. But I think I'm just I'm of that generation. I'm around it. I know the old stuff, but I'm up to date, and that's probably helped me.
Yeah.
But it's good to see, and I'm certainly hoping that there's a harder video game quad in the final, because that really, I think, could be the tipping point.
Well, in a game that could come down to the finest of margins, a quad that really favours you could make the difference. The converse of that, well, what's the subject that you struggle with the most?
No doubt, it's all sports that aren't football. I'm good at football, very good at football. I think I know a lot about football. So anything near that, a more difficult football quad, I'd be very happy with. But yeah, the rest of my sports knowledge is base. I like it. It's an interest, certainly, but there's no depth there. I'm cricket in the last couple of years, I think I'd be good at, but like that cricket quad with a few weeks ago with the highest scorers for each individual country, I knew all the names. I've heard the names. I'm aware of them, but there was no way I was putting that together. There's obviously that NBA quad that I mentioned. Somehow I got that, and that I was again something I was really pleased with because of it. But yeah, there's so many sports where I'm just like, I know what I need to know, but I don't have that depth. If the sports quads lean towards the harder spectrum and they're not in my wheelhouse, I think that could be really, really difficult for me. And I know that there's some great sports quizzes out there, so could be tough.
Okay, so looking forward to the final, Alan, Dave, and Ian. How do you view your chances?
I think they're all right. Like, I really, considering the quality that's in there, I feel like I've got a chance, which is great. Like, I feel kind of insane saying it, but like I do. Like, I feel like it wouldn't take too much to go in my favor for me to get it. I'm looking forward to it, particularly. I believe from what I've heard from some of the OQL team, it's going to be that little bit more harder in terms of the settings, fewer level 1 questions. And hopefully, as long as I can still convert those 2s and 3s and get myself into an 11, 12 of my own, if something comes in my favor, I think it's going to be massive. I think that could happen, and I don't think there's a small chance of that happening. The way that it's been working, it could be in my favor. But again, the quality's there. I would absolutely. He's a lovely man. I would love to beat Ian because I've played him 3 times now. I played him in game 3. I played him in my quarterfinal. I finished 3rd to him. I finished 2nd to him. To get the 1st would be massive. But I mean, yeah, to be even amongst them, I know it's cliche, but yeah, to be up there and to be involved with people of this quality is ridiculous. I've massively outstripped any expectation I had of myself. So yeah, even to be 4th would be great. But if the wind's blowing in the right direction, I don't see why I can't win.
Thanks for talking to us, Lewis. Best of luck in the final. We'll be watching with intense interest to see how it all falls and see how well you get on. But you've done fantastically well to get to the final. So congratulations on that, and best of luck for the final.
Thanks, Gareth.